Great. So we're going to start talking about developing a mission statement. And I'm sure all of you have dreams for your farms or for a potential farm or for your family farm. And what I'm going to teach you about today is taking this dream idea and putting it onto paper so that you can express that easily to somebody else. So what is a mission statement? It sets your goals and standards. It looks at the future and asks, what kind of business do I want? It can be a source of inspiration, and it provides clear decision-making criteria. I know from watching small business owners, a lot of times you guys have to make really quick split second management decisions, and that can be very difficult. But if you have this mission statement in your head, it can help you align your decision with the goals for your farm.
Do you have a handout for this?
Yeah, it's right there. Okay, so questions to ask to help develop a clear company vision. A vision is really like the nebulous dream that you have. The mission is a little bit more specific, and I'll talk about the mission more in a minute. But I did want to talk about this big picture, the vision. What values do I hold that I will not compromise? What characteristics do I want to portray to people? What principles do I stand for? How do I want to be seen or thought of when I interact with people? And also, what do I want in life? So the vision is like I said, the big picture. The mission, however, focuses on your present. It lists broad goals. It answers the question, why does the farm exist? What the farm's purpose is? What you do? Why does it do it? For whom does it do it? And identifies the company's products, services, and customers. And I'll show you an example at the end. So a mission statement really focuses less on what activities happen on the farm and more on what the business will accomplish for its customers, employees, and owners. It describes the consumer need and what will be fulfilled. That is really a critical part of your mission statement, is that you need to look at everything from the customer's perspective. How will the firm's products do better than the competition? That's your customer value proposition. How many of you have heard of customer value proposition before? Okay, so I'll just explain that real quickly. It's a statement that describes why a customer should buy a product or use a service. That's a key component of your mission statement. Why should a customer buy your product or your service? Not necessarily only what you do or about yourself. Instead of making it self-centered, make it centered around the consumer. Now, I'm sure all of you remember less competitive times because things are really tough and tight right now. But managers always produced a high quality product and then found a market for them. A lot of times what would happen is a farmer would say, I think it's a good idea for me to grow tomatoes this year. Well, that's not the way we do it anymore, is it? First, you identify a market need. You have to find somebody who's going to buy your tomatoes, because you might spend all that time growing the tomatoes and then you won't have anyone to buy them afterwards. So you first identify a market need, then you grow the products that satisfy that need, and you have to do it at a price consumers are willing to pay, while at the same time you're still returning a profit. Okay, so a mission statement should be short enough so that people can easily remember it. It answers the questions, why am I here? How will I get where I want to go? And how can we beat or avoid competition? So strategy is important here. And I took an advanced course in business management at Rutgers, and what they were talking about with strategy is that we think of it as kind of like, well, this is my idea about how I'm going to get where I'm going. What it really is this: how are you going to make each little step to getting where you're going different from your competition? So your strategy, kind of wrap your mind around that strategy. It's about the small steps that you take and how the small steps are different from your competition and better than your competition strategy is. Because in agriculture, often we're growing a lot of the same crops as other people are. So the competition can be very, very tight, and you need a good strategy to beat the competition. Okay, so mission statement is a concise statement that describes the core purpose of a business. The vision statement is the big picture. The mission statement is the implementation of the vision, It outlines what must happen to realize the vision. It's how will we get there. It can unify people in the business. I spoke about that at the beginning. The mission statement is something that you want to put up on a big sign in your employee workroom. It is something that you want to have memorized in your head. It's also, sometimes you can use it as your elevator speech. Do you guys know what an elevator speech is? It's where if you are in an elevator and someone looks at your shirt and they say, oh, you know, that's Cedar Grove Farm there. What's the farm about? And you can say, well, that's my farm. And then you say your mission statement, and it will satisfy that person's idea of your farm and why they should use your farm, why they should tell other people about your farm. And it's often the foundation or measuring stick for making decisions, like I spoke about with the small business managers making quick split-second decisions all the time. So it highlights the unique philosophy and set of circumstances of the farm. That can be a production method, like organic farming. It can be a specific commodity. I'm looking for the worksheet here. It can be your target market. And basically, you're trying to craft the who, what, when, why, how that ultimately develop a farm business plan. So this is sort of like your farm business plan in a sentence or two. So in order to help you do this, Robin has worked with some of our other agents and specialists in developing this great fact sheet, developing a mission statement for your agricultural business. I'm going to give you a copy of this, and it has a worksheet in it. And we're going to go through the worksheet, and at the end of the next maybe like a half hour or so, you will be able to have a mission statement for your farm by working on this worksheet. So I'm going to pass these out now. Actually, can you just pass one? Take one, pass it back? Thanks. Okay, so let's talk about a little example first, a fictional example. And this right here, can you see the arrow there? This is the example of the farm, but this is the mission statement about that example. So the example is that Uncle Steve's farm is located in beautiful Hunterdon County. The farming operation consists of beef cattle raised for sale to various customers in New Jersey. Steve is dedicated to the ethical treatment of his animals and is a strong believer in organic production. All right, so Uncle Steve's farm mission statement. Look at these key things here. Uncle Steve's farm, okay, that's the name of the farm, dedicated to raising animals in an environmentally sustainable fashion. So he's concerned about the environment, which is something that a consumer will identify with, that they're environmentally sustainable. A strictest attention to animal health and comfort. That is also often important to a consumer. These practices ensure superior quality, organically raised beef product for our customers and a picturesque, healthy environment for our neighbors. So they're talking about their target market too. Customers in general, so customers can be anyone, but also they are trying to facilitate a nice environment for their neighbors. So they probably sell directly to their neighbors all the time, and they also want to have a good relationship with them by helping, keep the open space around. Okay, so let's open up to the worksheet, which is on page 3. Well, it's not numbered, but it is page 3. And you can work alone, or if in the case of you guys working together on the farm, you can work on this together. Just answer these questions pretty simply. What type of farm business do you have? Features that make you unique, benefits to the consumer, words or phrases that describe your farming practices. And what you're going to do is you're going to take all of these together and you're going to put them into a nice, concise mission statement. And Robin and I will be here to help you. She's out of the room right now, but I'll be here the entire time to help you if you need help, because often the mission statement is a difficult thing to construct because it is so brief. So I'll be here to help you along as you go. And then once you're done with the worksheet, you can actually enter it into page 12 of this workbook that Robin gave you, the business planning workbook. So this is really the first component of your business plan, is the mission statement.